So, do you want to know what the Darien Gap looks like? So I've been living in San Cristobal de las Casas in southern Mexico for 6 months, waiting for the dry season. And in mid-December, I took a flight down to Quito, Ecuador, and began to hitchhike north through Colombia. 16 days later, I arrived to the town of Acandí. Day one of Darien Gap. The migrant flow has been stemmed somehow. There's no one else on this trail. There are no Haitians or anyone else at all. I met a guide last night in town, thankfully, and he helped me make a map. But he said he's kind of retired or whatever. I've just gotten to La Azteca, which is kind of like the base camp. And all it is now is piles of garbage. And I mean, it's been a Haitian camp. There's books in French here. There's garbage everywhere. There's a guy over at the next, I don't really know that this is the main Azteca, but I'm just gonna relax for a little while. Oh, there's an old guy I met named Beep, who's maybe gonna come in the morning and guide me to the border. I said I'll wait for him till 7. We'll see how that goes. I hope he does come. But more on that later. Ciao. Okay. So I'm in my jungle hammock right outside of Wilson Martinez's house. Late this afternoon, good old Senor Beep showed back up, and I'll have to write about this someday. Don't forget how he complimented that he saw my walking and that I didn't stop, and that I carried a machete, and he was talking about that tricky place up ahead. Anyway, tomorrow's the big day. I'll have to remember about how I lowballed him for $100 and was really nervous about whether he'd come, and I was so happy when he got here, and of course he already knows these guys, and I'll have to describe this guy so well and how he took his boots off and he doesn't wear socks, and we took the photo anyway. So good night. I'm going to try to get some sleep. We're leaving at 5 in the morning. Okay, I'm in Colombia. It's about 6 in the morning. Beep! It's about to show me to the border. It's going to take us all day. I'm going to Panama to the Darien Gap. It's raining. I think I'm about a mile from the Panamanian border. Here's the path I've just come from. Up until a few weeks ago, there's been groups of up to, well, not 1,000, but smaller groups of like 200, up to 200 groups of Haitians coming through at a time. And as I've gone, they just jettison everything because they can't carry it. It's just... Here's where I'm going. Look up between the two trees. It's bloody steep. Anyway, I'm getting close to the border, so my guide left about half an hour ago because he doesn't want to get grabbed by the forces. But I wouldn't have been able to make it this far without him. I won't go on about him because I'm going to write a book about him. So, sorry. So it's starting to rain, so I really got to put the phone back away. But you can probably imagine I'm pretty happy about this. I put my stuff back on just so you can see what I'm carrying. I got this thing was mostly food, but now it's become my hammock because it's lighter. Got my backpack. I've had a stick for crossing rivers, and I got my machete. Got my rubber boots with a hole cut in the bottom so they drain. That's where I've come from, Colombia. That's why I'm going into Panama. Alright, well, I'm in Panama, but nobody knows it yet. But if you're here, I'm down to the river, which is good news. I'm back in business for water, and this water is pure. However, along the banks is not. This is another, like, dump of people's possessions. You could fill a Walmart with just this, let alone everything that's been jettisoned along the way. As you know, well, I think I mentioned I lost my sandals in quicksand yesterday, but there's so many Crocs here. So I've just found a right. I just got to go find a left. Shouldn't be that hard. And I want to try to get my feet dry. Next step is 3 hours down river to either where the Indians are going to spot me or immigration, whoever does first. But for now, I'm going to wait till tomorrow and do that fresh. I found a little spot, 2 trees where I can put the hammock up shortly. I've already got some sleeping mats underneath so I'm not stepping in garbage. And I probably should do the hammock first, but if it rains, I'm already completely sodden. So I think I want to get another Croc and get out of these rubber boots. Alright, it's about an hour or a little bit more later. I got my hammock up. It's not really up perfectly, but it's hard to get any pegs in garbage, in a dump. I still haven't figured out the best way to go down the river tomorrow, but I haven't really explored yet. I'm going to do that in a second without the phone. Anyway, so I'm sleeping on a garbage pile tonight. Good thing I have a hammock, not a tent. Downriver tomorrow, see if we can find the indigenous tribe. I can't actually remember the name, but I've got it written down. It's like on a Chondi, on a Chonda or something. I bet they spot me first. Okay, I've been following that river down for the past few hours. At least 2, maybe 3, including through some really sketchy canyons where the water was difficult. I had to get kind of in. And then I just came around the corner. I've kind of cut the corner here from the river, and I noticed that there was a pretty good path, and I took the path. And I just noticed up ahead, there's no smoke. End of day 3. My phone cut out right as I was making my first contact with what I thought was going to be some locals, but ended up being the border guard for them. They looked through all my stuff, and then they chewed me out for being here, and then they became kind of helpful and gave me some advice, but said there was going to be 6 or 7 days to get down to the nearest anything. So this river is my new best friend, and today's day 3, but they said 6 or 7 from today, so I'm going to keep that in mind. My campsite's a little bit nicer tonight. They told me not to use any of the camp spots that the Haitians have used for my own safety, but I'm sorry, I'm not going to go up into the jungle right now. There's it's kind of behind what the Haitians have left anyway, so look, I haven't seen anyone all day, except for the border guys. If someone were to come by, I mean, the boat can't go on this river, so anyway, this is where I am for the night. And yeah, I'm gonna have to be a little bit more chintzy on my food. 6 or 7 days. Today I got completely wet up to here, so my blanket got wet. I'm trying to dry it out. And hopefully the Ziploc bags work. Apparently this one does. Anyway, I'll check in with you tomorrow. Ciao.